Also, public urination, I believe, is now legal in the District of Columbia. So 3 cheers for that. Joining me now is Senate Judiciary Member Tom Cotton. He's also the author of the fantastic book, Only the Strong. Senator, this bill is facing one more legislative hurdle, but if it passes, tell us how destructive this will be. I understand the urination provision is sailing through, by the way.
I mean, it's amazing that the D.C. City Council, facing a massive homelessness problem and a crime problem, deciding that we should eliminate mandatory minimum sentences and decriminalize things like lifestyle crimes like public urination, or I think there's other crimes that they're going to decriminalize. I mean, I found it deeply ironic that Joe Biden decided to give his speech from Union Station, the city's main train station, which is the epicenter for homelessness, and so bad there that you can't even get a cup of coffee getting on the train because Starbucks had to close its store in that train station.
Now, I thought he'd maybe do his speech in front of all the tents that are in front of the city.
I guess they rousted them all out.
Yeah, but just like 10 years ago or 5 years ago, there was no problem with it. Was a great place to go have lunch, and
it was, yeah.
It's just totally different. Now, this morning on CNN, Senator Hillary Clinton had a different take on the whole crime wave issue. Watch.
When they talk about crime, you know, they're just trying to gin up all kinds of fear and anxiety in people. They're not dealing with it. They're not trying to tackle it. And so I view it as an effort to scare voters.
Are you trying to scare voters, Senator?
No, I think voters are scared of Democratic policies that have led to this crime wave in America. We have a wide open southern border with 5 million illegal aliens crossing. Almost all drugs in America come from there. Democrats across the country have called to defund the police. They've condemned the police. They want to end the bail system. They want to end mandatory minimum sentences in prison. They want to release prisoners. What do they expect to get? And that's why voters are going to repudiate them next week, because they know that this is the direct and obvious results of soft on crime policies from the Democrats.
Now, I think the Senate is going to go Republican on Tuesday. I hope people get out and vote. But a lot of Republicans are concerned that if the Republicans take control of the Senate, Senator, they will not do the aggressive oversight that is necessary at the Pentagon, because, and I know your military background and it's reflected in your book, but I mean, I'm of the view that this Pentagon needs to be cleaned out. Yeah. I mean, and Republicans always say, oh, we can't defund the Pentagon. We can't defund the military. We can't. But, OK, then what can we do?
No, the entire Biden administration needs a lot of oversight, to include the Department of Defense. And that's not just the kind of traditional oversight we would normally do to make sure you're getting good value for your tax dollars on things like the new stealth bomber, but also the kind of left-wing struggle sessions, like something out of Mao's Cultural Revolution that I've heard from so many troops from. I got a note just yesterday from someone with whom I served in the Army, total warrior. He taught me a lot about what I know about surviving in the woods and leading men in combat. He's been a special operator for years. He's going to retire now because he didn't pick up for command. He said, you know, I guess I'm just not today's Army's the kind of leader that today's Army wants. So there needs to be a lot of oversight on what the leadership of the Pentagon has done to our military. That's why we have a retention and a recruiting crisis in our military.
Who wants to go into the military if it's just like going to be like an associate lecturer at, an Ivy League school?
Young men and women join the Army to learn to kill the bad guys. They don't learn how to join the Army to learn to use the right pronouns.
So you will insist that this happens?
Yeah, absolutely, Laura.
Your book, Only the Strong. Now, why'd you write it? Real quick.
You know, I wrote it in the aftermath of the Afghanistan fiasco last year. A lot of our Kansans were asking me, how do we let this happen, lose to a band of medieval savages like this? But it wasn't just that. I wanted to lay out the case for how the left is at best ambivalent about America, going back to Woodrow Wilson and the progressives, and therefore they've been undermining the sources of American power for over a century.
Well, how did we have that fiasco and no one lost their job?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of oversight.
Yeah, Millie and Austin should not be in their positions after what happened. Everyone can get out and get this book, Only the Strong. Senator, great to see you.
Thank you, Laura. It's great to be with you.